Hey, it's me again, and this is my video response for Chapter 2, Seeing and Knowing. Again, I definitely like the chapter, and I like his writing style because he makes it really easy to understand. Also, in that regards, I don't have as much to say this time because I'm gonna admit to the fact that I was learning a lot of new things, and so there's not a lot that I feel I can give my input on at this moment, I guess. I did like that he stresses that where our eyesight may be similar, it's unique to us in other senses than just being able to see. Um, and then I also thought a lot because I'm currently in evolution, and so this chapter made me think a lot about that how every other animal seems to be able to survive in the world without our higher brain functions. And so it made me curious about what was it that made the evolutionary push for humans to come about. So what pushed the primates to um, evolve with a higher brain function, because as we're learning in evolution, there's generally a reason. So it's selected for because of fitness of the individual. So there had to have been an environment in which it made more sense, but it also could have been that just um, those primates with higher brain functions could communicate better, therefore they could strategize better to survive better, which then in turn just led to the increasing of higher brain functions. But I just thought it was really cool to kind of think about it and made me really curious about the topic. Um, then I also really like the part where it talked about how um, color eyesight in primates kind of so it evolved, and it started talking about being able to eat different bugs because it could see the color and decide oh hey, that bug I ate it the other day and it was fine. But also with the nutritional value of plants. So part of me was wondering oh, maybe there was a huge drought period where there was fewer greener leaves left, so the monkeys with the mutation or the primates with the mutation to see color were able to be hey, this leaf looks different than the others, maybe I should try and eat that. And because they could tell that it was a different color and kept eating it, they were more likely to survive in this harsh environment where a lot of the plant life was dead or not as green or nutritional. Um, and then I also think when he talks about how we're able to see a mental image and how other animals may be able to see a mental image, but there's really no way to test it. But I really don't think he stresses enough that it's not whether or not they can see a mental image or not, but it's a matter of we can see the mental image and we can think about what that means is going on in our head, and we can communicate that to someone else to say I want it, or we can draw it out. We can mentally put it down on a piece of paper. But again, that's all stuff that maybe that other animals can do, but there's just no way to test it. So I think I don't almost there's can be sometimes an underestimation of what other animals can do just because there's a limitation because they don't have the language to tell us that they're seeing. A monkey can't be ooh, I'm thinking about a banana right now, I really want a banana, but they can relay the message that I'm hungry, and we know that stereotypically monkeys want bananas. So I mean, there's some stuff there. Uh, I also think towards the end of the chapter, it made me really realize that I more and more so believe the concept that maybe we are kind of just what we are biologically, because that with the people who the John who couldn't recognize his wife's face or and recognize specifics of anything. And David, who was well, that looks like my mom, but that's not my mom. That to me proves that our personalities and what we think and who we are is in our brain, and without our brain, we're not that. So this grandiose concept of a soul or whatever that it just to me kind of makes less sense the more biology someone puts on it, and the more I like realize how much the brain really does affect everything we do and determine a lot about who we are. But other than that, it was a good chapter. So thank you.